What's up guys, and welcome back to another YouTube. I know it's been a while, but it always is. So I've got something really special to share with you guys. Just recently we moved our home gym to another location, which is here in the shed. I can't tell you where, but this is it. Where we haven't quite moved in yet, so it's a complete mess, but I was really eager to do a session in here today. So it's going to be a little bit of hit and miss, but my aim is to do upper body using minimal equipment because not everything, as you can see, is set up. So we're going to do some I don't know, upper body movements using the bench and some free weights. This will be a really good workout if you are someone that trains from home and you don't have a lot of equipment. So I hope that helps. Did I mention that this is going to be a place for our clothing brand as well? So we're going to have YONDIT up the top here, the office is, and some apparel on this side of the gym. So this side we train, and then on this side we'll put all of the stock, which will be really super exciting when that's all, you know, done. They're still at our house at the moment, so we're going to change everything over. But yeah, I can't wait to show you the end result of this gym once it's finally set up. But yeah, for now, let's do a training session in it. Let's christen it with the Steph vibes all over here. They're setting up our bench today. That we'll be using this. I actually haven't used this bench for a very long time. We usually use this one here. We set it up as a bench, like a squat rack as well as a bench. So at home, I normally bench and squat out of this. But we're going to set this bad boy up here. I've used this since 2018. A really long time. I'm really excited to use it. I got PBs on this back in the day. So let's hope today, although I've got an injured shoulder, I'm dealing with an injury at the moment, as you do as an athlete. So I'm going to work around that today and hopefully do movements that don't cause me pain, which is probably good for someone out there who has shoulder issues at the moment. Keep an eye on what I do to avoid that pain and do a session so it doesn't hold me back. So did I miss anything? I'm just rolling. I'm rolling with the homies today. Yeah, it's on rolling. No, okay. All right, let's get stuck into it.
Lose control. Get me to London or Tokyo. My head's within the clouds. My body feels the pulse. My feet are saying round and round we go.
So I'm just trying to figure out what position on the bench isn't going to cause me pain. So I'm going with a mid grip because that's causing me the least amount of pain, and I'm going pretty low on my chest too. So I've got a nice big arch to protect my shoulders, and I'm just going to go lower on the chest. So it's just a matter of maneuvering myself around so it's comfortable. And when it comes to your training, sometimes when you go to a specialist, they might be like, you know, have 4 weeks off, and for some of us we just can't do that, and probably that's the best advice to overcome an injury is rest, obviously. But if you're someone that's very passionate about training and, you know, this is your thing and your health is your thing, which it should be, you know, you can find ways around it. I'm not going to obviously injure myself further. I'm making sure that I'm comfortable and I'm not hurting myself. But yeah, just make sure that when you do get advice that you take it, listen to it, but also have some smarts about yourself and know what you're capable of and what you can and can't do, because only you know your body. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to avoid any movements that cause pain. I'm not going to go too heavy and overload myself and just move on. I mean, this isn't the first injury I've had. I've had so many over the years, and you just got to overcome it sometimes and not let it defeat you. Today, but I'm actually wearing YONDIT. My YONDIT bottoms just here. This is my new range for my clothing brand. We did our shorts and pants in a scrunch bum. And scrunch bums have a really bad rap with a lot of people because they're like, why would you want to wedge something up your bum? And I get that. But also what it does is it just gives you a bum. It like lifts what you have. So that is the purpose. It's flattering. But yeah, We did that. We're in it. It's comfortable. Where's your pair?
Scrunch ones don't look good on me.
Scrunch don't look good on men.
I can't pull them off.
He's a funny bugger, that guy. Yeah, so very excited about that. Wait, what did you say?
So then again, I've never tried.
You never tried. Maybe you can pick one of mine from the purple ones.
These going to be released probably, they'll probably be out by the time this video drops. So, YONDIT.com.
YONDIT, we'll put a link in. So just touching briefly on the arch, because I know that it has a pretty, I guess people who aren't in the powerlifting community, it can have a pretty bad rap. Everyone's like, you know, that's bad for your back, or you're causing yourself more problems, or it's not a real bench. But basically with a powerlifting movement, the whole point is to move a heavy weight from A to B. It's not really about building the chest for me. It's about doing that power movement. And the reason I'm arching is to not only shorten the range of motion, but also protect my shoulders by, you know, retracting my scapula and, you know, putting my shoulders on the bench and having that stability. So it's the way I've always benched, to be honest. It's something I've always done. It was the way that I was taught to bench. And yeah, I guess the goal, for me is never to really build up my pecs, because as you know, I don't quite need to at this stage. I've got enough going on here. And you know what, I can joke about that because I'm pretty easygoing. I'm not awkward at all. So yeah, I just want to move heavy weight. That's how I like to lift. Nothing wrong with it. So 60 kilos is where I'm going to stop it today, because I'm feeling a bit of negative pressure, which is what I'm trying to avoid in today's session, even though I've got that really big arch and I'm slowing the movement down, but it's just, now it's starting to get uncomfortable. I'm going to know what my limits are and move on to the next exercise. So I've moved on to my next exercise, which is the incline press. I'm finding the flared elbows position quite uncomfortable, so I'm going to go in and narrow my grip and go into a neutral press. I just did, a set with the 10 kilos on each side, and that was okay. So I'm going to go with that and see how I go. Still going to work my shoulders, and well, the goal isn't really to work my shoulders today, but it's going to hit my front delt, it's going to work my delt. It's going to work my delt, and it's going to be still working my chest. So there's a win there. But yeah, today's session's really gonna, I'm doing this as I go. Like, I'm just figuring out what I can and can't do. And sometimes that's what you have to do in training. Sometimes it all goes to crap. And, you know, the plans that you had just don't work out. Or maybe the session that you do wasn't the best. But the fact is, we're all here and we're trying. So sometimes let go of the expectation and just do what you can. Seriously, I don't know how many times this has happened to me where I've just had to just let it all go. That's how you move on. That's how you get stronger. Inspiration. I wanted to work my triceps. However, when I tried to do skull crushes with these dumbbells, I was getting that referring pain again, and it's just uncomfortable. So I'm going to do Tate Press instead. If you haven't heard of this movement before, it's pretty cool. You're basically rotating the dumbbells down and then full extension up. And as you're doing that, you are pushing up and extending, switching on your triceps. So that feels a lot better, so I'm going to do that. And I guess, hang on, let me sit up for a second. I guess I'm showing this side of my training because this is something that I've dealt with from time to time, and I know that probably a lot of you have dealt with your own injuries or just issues with training. So yeah, this video is completely what's the word I'm looking for, random, because I didn't raw and random because I didn't come in here thinking that my shoulder would be this bad. I mean, it's been bad, but I didn't think it would prohibit me from doing a lot of movements. So yeah, I guess I'm just being really super raw and honest here and showing you another side of the training that you probably don't see on Instagram or my other channels. You always see the glamour and me pushing heavy weight all the time, but sometimes privately I go through these movements where my body just won't physically do what I want it to do, and I have to take a step back. So yeah, today's training is so super put together purely by what I can and can't do right now. So I'm kind of glad I'm sharing it with you guys. I always want to show you the ins and outs of what goes on behind the scenes, and this is a part of it. So I hope that you can relate to it as well, you know, because sometimes training sucks. But we all come back here and do it again anyway and just deal with what we're going to deal with in that moment. So that's me right now. Have you dealt with injuries in your own training before?
Yes.
Have you had time off, or have you kept going and just done what you feel is comfortable?
I have been training for 12 years and I don't think I've ever had time off. So,
But you've had injuries.
yes, but I think one thing for the viewer, if you've been training less than, let's say, maybe 3 years, it might be worthwhile listening to whoever it is that's giving you the advice, the allied health professional, physio, myo, osteo, whoever it is that you're seeing. Maybe consider what they're saying. If you need time off, take time off. But just because you hurt your legs or your knee doesn't mean you can't work your arms or your upper body, or vice versa. You hurt your shoulder doesn't mean you can't focus on building the legs. There's always generally something that you can do. So there's always a way to work around it. You don't have to allow that to crush you and ruin you, especially if you're someone that really does like training, like Steph. You know, you don't want that to ruin your life and just not go at all.
You guys know what I mean. So Jamie's here. It's really random, but I wanted to share it because my shoes are just glowing at the moment. In this lighting, they're just glowing. I just completely wreck all of my white shoes, and I found out this really cool trick where you go to the supermarket and you grab like a soap called Sard, and then you lightly wet your shoes and you just like scrub it with this soap, a bar of soap in the laundry, Sard, and then you throw them in the washing machine, and then you just put some powder on, put it on cold wash, all your white shoes, and then put them outside to dry, not in the sun, and they come out pure white. I mean, like, look at these. I've already started to put some tan on them, but I feel like they're just glowing right now. In fact, if you've got any other whitening of shoes idea, if you've got any shoe whitening ideas, drop it in the comments. That's better than Sard if you've tried Sard before, because I would like to know, because like yours need to go, like you need some Sard.
Come on, man. What's going on?
I did yours about 3 weeks ago and they're looking pretty silly. I don't know what you're doing, kicking dirt or something. Drop it in the comments. I want to know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. It was so fun training in this gym. Like, I actually feel really excited about having our own space. And it's not black, it's white in here. Yes. When this is all set up, all said and done, and all the equipment's where it should be, we'll do a gym tour. And when I'm not injured, I'll do a proper session, give myself a week.